Morning, everybody. One day before Valentine's Day. I hope everybody's having a fabulous week. Let me turn this light here a little bit so we can see what we're working on this morning. I've not made this pattern before, and I saw it over on Hooked by Robin over on YT. You know, I love her. And I've had this Scarfie yarn. I first saw this yarn. Let me pull a skein out. Why not? Oh, I just lost the label when I did that. I had this yarn. I first saw it on Creative Grandma. You know, she always films a lot of times behind her yarn wall there. And I saw this really pretty skeins that she had there on her wall. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to have that yarn. What is that yarn? So I actually emailed Glenda, that's Creative Grandma's name. And I said, Glenda, please tell me, what is that yarn you have? And she said, oh, it's the Scarfie. I was so impressed. She replied back very quickly. I was like, that's cool. But it is Lion Brand, and it is the Scarfie yarn, and it is a bulky 5 weight. And today we're going to use a size K hook. This skein is 312 yards, and it's 78% acrylic, 22% wool. And so it is machine wash, cool, lay flat to dry. I'm going to make a scarf this morning. So anyhow, I had this yarn and I was like, what am I going to make with this? I think it would look really cool as like a scarf or a hat or something. And I thought, it's Valentine's. Why not? Let's make something. So I found this pattern by Hooked by Robin over on YouTube where she made a scarf. Now she used a thinner yarn than this. So we're going to see how this works today. And I've never made this before, but it's a puff stitch. So, you know, there might be some incidences here. I haven't practiced at all. Normally I try to practice a little bit before I come on the live so I don't look like a complete fool. But today, if that happens, y'all will just have to bear with me. So we're going to wing it today. Hey, Wendy, good morning. Queen 530, how are you? So let me get my K hook. K hook is, for those that are wondering, is a 6.5 millimeter. So this is a pretty bulky weight yarn. I'm hoping that it works up fast. There's my K hook. And the way that Robin started out, there's a link for this pattern on the link tree, guys. She started out with a magic or a slip knot. So I'm going to make a slip knot here. And then she chained 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then she went back to her first stitch and she joined with a slip stitch. And this became a little circle that she was working with. Okay. Then she turned her work like this. And she, I think she did a single crochet here. Let's do that so it's a little secure in the ring. And then she chained 2. Then what she did is a puff stitch. And she said, this is where you have to decide on the puff stitch how many puffs you want to do or how many, how puffy you want it. So, anyhow, oh, I see Senta is here over on YouTube from Spain. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome, welcome. So there's 2. Here is 3. Now, when Robin did this, she did a total of 4 yarn overs. Let's try it with 4 and see. I don't want it to be too puffy, but I do want it to be kind of, full. Okay. Then she yarned over and she pulled through all of these. Then she chained 1 to lock it in. So there's our little puff stitch. Then she chained 3. Boy, that seems like a lot. Okay. Then right back into this stitch here, she did another puff stitch. So let me do a few of these. We'll get this going. And then I'll kind of talk through how we're going to do these puff stitches or how it works. Okay. But these are really nice and puffy stitches. It's going to be a yarn eater. That's for sure. And then again, she chained 1 to lock it in. Now she turned her work, so you can kind of see there's our little first puff stitches. I'll tell you right now, I don't really care for this right here, but let's go ways. Let's trust the process here and see how it goes. Okay, so then she did a slip stitch right back here into the center. Again, chain 2, and now do another puff stitch. So I'm doing 4 yarn overs. Let's just see how puffy this is. Was that 4? 1, 2, I think that was only 3. I might like it better with 3, but let's just see how this goes. And then chain 1 to lock it in, and then she did a chain of 3. So this is going to be a very lacy kind of scarf. It's not going to be really full, but it is going to have kind of some texture on it. You guys know me. I like to kind of modify these patterns if I don't like how something is, shaping up, or if something has happened in a certain way. So that may happen today. Dee Dee, good morning from Arizona, my old stomping grounds. I lived in Arizona my whole life. We moved here 4 years ago to Alabama. So that's what it's looking like right now. So here's my initial thought on this, guys. Number one, I'm going to rip this out. This is too tall. I think we could do a chain of 1 here, and this would look better. Also, I feel like this is too looped out here. I think I would like this in a little closer. So I think personally a chain of 3 here is too much. I'm going to change it to a chain of 2. So let's pull this out. I do think this chain of 5 that we started with, I'm good with that part. I think that looks nice. So we're going to change this here on the fly. Sorry, Robin. We're going to do some changes here on your little pattern, but I think she wouldn't mind. Okay, so chain of 2. Now I'm going to start that puff stitch again. I think it's okay with the 4. Let me rework this and then we'll see. So chain 1 to lock it in. Then I'm only going to do a chain 2, and then I'm going to do another puff stitch. And let's see how this works now. One more. Chain 1 to lock it in. Turn my work, slip stitch right back into this. And now we're ready to do our next puff stitch. So I'm going to chain 1 here. I really feel like 2 was too much. Now I'm going to do my puff stitch, and let's see how this looks, if it feels any better. I don't want it to be too like loopy. Okay, so now we're going to do 2 here instead of 3. And guys, while I'm working on this pattern in my brain here, I might miss some of the comments this morning, okay? Um, just as I kind of work through what we're doing here, but I'm going to come back and explain all this. So stick with me here. This is how my brain works. So I like this better. I feel like this is a good amount here. I also feel like the chain of 1 works better. Now, eventually, we're going to come back down after we build this up and up and up and up, and we're going to make some loops that come off the sides here, and that will be where we attach this to. But I'm kind of digging this now. I think I like the 4 puffs. Um, I could try the next one with 3 and see how that works. So again, I'm going to turn my work. Then I'm going to do a a slip stitch right here. And then I'm going to chain 1. Kind of scoot that over a little bit. Now I'm going to do the puff stitch. So I'm doing 4 yarn overs here. Let's try it. That's 3. Let's try it with 3 and see how that feels. Chain 1 to lock it in, chain 2, and then another puff stitch. So I'm going to do 3 yarn overs here. We're going to compare the 3 yarn overs to the 4 and see how we like that. 1, 2, 3. Pull through all and slip stitch to lock it in. And I kind of like the 4 better. The 4 feels puffier. What do you guys think? This one has 3 yarn overs. This one down here has 4 yarn overs. Do we like the fluffier 4, or do you like it with the 3? What's your guys' vote? Hey Maggie, good morning. Mrs. Jarvis is here. Jeannie says 4. Anvil likes 4. Mama C likes 4. Jen X says 4. Joanne likes 4. It sounds like we like 4 better. Okay, I'm going to pull this back out. Okay, now I'm going to talk about these stitches now that we figured out what the heck we're doing this morning. How about that? Welcome, welcome. I see new followers popping up here this morning. Happy Valentine's Eve. Today I'm going to make a little Valentine scarf. This is a pattern by Hooked by Robin. The yarn that I'm using today is Lion Brand Scarfie. And it says I should be able to make one skein should make a scarf. One skein should make a hat. I have 3 skeins. So I think I'm going to make a hat and a scarf. We'll see how ambitious I am. And this is what it looks like. It's really pretty. This is the colorway red and cream. And I got this off of Joanne. However, I looked yesterday and Joanne doesn't have this anymore, but I did put a link on the link tree. There is some on Amazon if you're interested in this colorway. It is a 5 bulky weight yarn, and I'm using a size K hook this morning, 6.5 millimeter, 78% acrylic and 22% wool. It is rather soft. I don't feel it's like really rough or anything. Sometimes wool can be kind of scratchy. I feel like the acrylic really kind of balances it out. And so, what we're going to do, this is kind of like a mile a minute, if you guys know and understand that concept. So, what we're doing is we're going to make these little puff stitches that kind of will resemble little hearts. And I did a chain of 2 here in between. I'm wondering if I did even less, if it kind of puff it up a little more, make it look even more like hearts. We can experiment on the next and see. But I did a 4 yarn over puff stitch, so I'll talk about that. And I'm just going to keep turning my work back and forth, and I'm going to stack these up until I get it as long as I need it to be a scarf length. And so right here into this chain space here, I'm going to make a puff stitch. And the way you do a puff stitch is you have your loop on your hook here. You wrap your yarn around and you go into this space and draw up a loop. Now you don't finish, you just leave that chilling on your hook. Then you're going to do it again. So again, I yarn over, go right back down into that space. Again, grab up a loop. Do not finish. Do it again. Here's number 3. Grab up that loop. Again, do not finish. We need 4 of these. Yarn over. This is number 4. Grab up that loop. So you can see you have a lot of loops here on your hook. You have your starting loop over here. 2, 4, 6, 8. So we have a total of 9 loops on our hook. And then I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to pull through all of it. Okay. Then you have to chain 1. That chain 1 locks in that stitch. We'll move him over to the side here a little bit. Then we need to chain 2. And now right back down into this space, we're going to make another puff stitch. So again, yarn over, right down into that space. Grab up a loop, pull it up tall. Again, yarn over, right back down, grab up another loop. That's number 2. And here is number 3. Again, we're not finishing anything. We're just gathering these loops up. And then we have number 4, grab up a loop. So now we have our starting loop here. 2, 4, 6, 8, total of 9 loops. Yarn over and pull through all of those loops. And again, chain 1 to lock it in. So there's another little heart, if you will. It kind of looks like a heart. I'm going to turn my work. Now, right into this space here, I'm going to do a slip stitch. The slip stitch kind of gets us turned and working back in the right direction. So it's really just kind of a method to get us back going the way we need to. Now I'm going to chain 1. That gets us up a little taller. And now again, I'm going to resume with the puff stitch right into this space. We need a total of 4 loop overs. So again, right down in the space, grab up a loop, yarn over, here's number 2, grab up a loop, yarn over number 3, 1 more, yarn over into that space, grab that loop up. Again, here's our starting loop, 2, 4, 6, 8, total of 9 loops on our hook. Yarn over, pull through all of those loops. Chain 1 to lock it in. Scoot that little guy over a little bit. Chain 2. And now we're going to do another puff stitch, again, right into this space. So again, yarn over, grab up a loop, back down in. Here's number 2, grab up the loop. Again, do not finish any of these. Here's number 3, grab that loop up, pull these up nice and tall if you can. And number 4, kind of pull them up. You can see how I kind of have to shake my hook a little bit. Again, yarn over and pull through all of these loops and chain 1 to lock it in. So you can see our little ladder is starting to build here. Again, I'm going to turn my work. Now I'm going to do a slip stitch right into this space. I put my hook through the hole, grab up a loop. Now we're not going to yarn over like this. A slip stitch, all you do is take this loop here and pull it under this one. That gets us set up to do our next puff stitch. Now we need to chain one. That gets us just a smidge taller. And we're going to then resume with our puff stitch. So yarn over, pull up a loop. Again, you can see I kind of pull it up tall. Here's number 2. Pull it up. Number 3. Yarn over right down in that space. Here's number 4. So again, here's our starting loop. 2, 4, 6, 8, total of 9. Yarn over, pull through all, and chain 1 to lock it in, and chain 2 to move to the next puff stitch. So again, right down in this space, we're going to do another puff stitch. So I do think this is going to be a yarn eater. I'm not too worried about it. I think I have plenty of yarn here. I have a total of 3 skeins. I'm excited to see how this yarn kind of changes color. But we're going to keep working these along and kind of build some height here. Then what we're going to do is we're going to come back and we're going to add some chains here and attach it, another chain here, kind of some loops. Then we're going to build another one of these, and then as you're doing it, it's going to attach to the other. We're going to join as we go. Jamie says, I'm not seeing hearts, but it's super cute. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's the yarn. I kind of feel like maybe if I did a little smaller chain here, if it was more sucked in here, I think it would look more like a heart. So I think on this next one, let me try with she did 3 chains in between hers on the Hooked by Robin. What she did, I'm doing 2 right now, and it still feels kind of big and open in here. I feel like it needs to be smaller. What do you guys think? Do you think I should try to do maybe only 1 chain here and see what happens and see if that kind of sucks it in a little bit? I think it would make it look more like a heart. I think let's pull this out. Let's pull out this one and let's try it with only 2. Okay, I'm going to pull this back, or only 1 here. Okay, so there was my chain to lock it in. Let's do a chain of 1. Now let's do another puff stitch and see how this looks. I really feel like it needs to be tighter in order for those heart shapes to kind of come through. So let's turn this now and see. So I'm going to do a slip stitch here. We're kind of improvising as we go along today, guys. I've not made this pattern. I found it over on YouTube, so we're kind of winging it this morning. And, we've had to kind of do some improvising along the way. But, sometimes you have to do that with patterns. She did this with a much thinner yarn than what I'm using. Where am I at? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4. Okay, let's chain 1 to lock it in. Let's just do a few more like this. See if we see any improvement on the look of this. And then if it is, I'm going to have to rip this all out, but that's all right. You can't be a crocheter and be afraid of frogging, right? Hey, Randa, good morning. Um, Lucky Mike is here. Good morning. Good morning. Let's see. One, two, three. One more. Let's see how this looks. Don't be afraid to experiment with patterns and make things work for the yarn that you're using and what looks, best. Patterns are a set of guidelines, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's all of them. Let's take a step and look at this now and see if it looks any better. So there is how it's looking now. I feel like that looks better. Don't you think these up here look better than down here? These seem too big, right? I think I should tear all this out. What do you guys think? Should we frog this all the way back? I think we should. I think we should just frog it back and start here and only do 1 chain in between. I really feel like this looks better. Everybody's agreeing. Okay, we're going to rip this out. Get your frogs ready. We're ripping it out. Hey, you know what? You can't have a crochet day with April and not have some frog in, right? If everything was just perfect, I don't know about all that. I am not afraid at all to, try different things. I'm going to start from the very beginning, okay? This is tight here. I think also the bottom is too loose. I just saw somebody put that. Uh, yeah, I think Hooked by Robin, she did a chain of 4 when she first started. Or 5. I think it needs to be 4. So I'm going to start fresh. Here we go. Everybody get all their frogs out of their system. Don't be afraid. I might have to use that frog again. What do you think of that little Valentine's frog? That is too cute. Hey, Caroline. Good morning. So I have a uh, slip stitch on my hook here. Okay. I'm going to chain four. One, two, three, and four. I'm going to turn my work. I'm going to go back into this back bump here. And I'm going to do a slip stitch right into that first stitch. Now this is our little starting ring. This is like the base of our pattern. So then I'm going to do a slip stitch here, and then I'm going to chain one. Right into this circle that we have here, I'm going to do a puff stitch, and I'm going to do 4 yarn overs. Now don't fret, I'm going to come back and talk about these in a little bit, and I will explain how to do puff stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're kind of improvising on this pattern this morning. I do chain one to lock it in, then I do another chain one here, and now I'm going to put a second puff stitch right into this chain. There's 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to do a pull my yarn all the way through, and then I'm going to do a chain one to lock it in. So there is our first stitch. Okay, and we have this little chain in between. I'm then going to turn my work right into this space. I'm going to drop a loop, and I'm going to do a slip stitch. This gets us in position to work this way now. I'm going to chain one, and again, I'm going to do another puff stitch right into this space. Yarn over, down in this space, drop a loop, pull it up nice and tall, do not finish. We're going to do this a total of 4 times. We're gathering these loops on our hook. Yarn over, here is number 2. Again, pull it up tall. Number 3 and number 4. So now we have our starting loop here on our hook. 2, 4, 6, 8, total of 9 loops. Yarn over, pull through all the loops, and then chain one to lock it in. Scoot this little guy to the side, chain one. That's going to kind of give us a little space in between here. And now I'm going to do another puff stitch right back down into that space. Again, 4 yarn overs. Here's number 3 and 4. Again, 9 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through all. Chain one to lock it in, and now I'm going to turn my work once again. Right into this space here, I'm going to drop a loop and do a slip stitch, chain one, and now we're ready to start our next puff stitch. So let's do a few more of these and see how we think it's shaping up. It could be, guys, we could crochet along and we could all end up totally hating this pattern. It might be the wrong yarn, it might just not work at all, in which case we could frog it out and just do some other kind of scarf. So I'm just making a little Valentine's scarf this morning, Macy. It's kind of like a mile a minute. Although when you do these puff stitches, you're not going to be able to cruise at a mile a minute because they are very, very time consuming. But they do look fabulous. So it's supposed to look like little kind of hearts here, and then we're going to come back and do some loops on the side, and then we'll chain another piece together. So we're just making these long chains. I do think it looks better. I'll be honest, I don't know if I love it. I'm not sure I love this. We'll see. I'll give it some more time. Let's just do a few more. I'm not sure. I think the jury's out on this one. I could tell you, we could do a poll later on. Let me do a few more of these, and we could do a love it, hate it. If we hate it, I'll frog the whole thing, and then you guys could tell me how to do a scarf. I've never personally made a scarf before. I think a scarf would look nice with half doubles, and I really like those. I've seen it too where you can like do front and back posts, kind of some textures in there. So I don't know. Let's just see how this goes. I'll give it a little more time, but I can't say that I'm fully like digging this. So again, chain one, and now I'm going to do a puff stitch right back in here. We could do the sides of this also, because that's the other part of it, is we're only seeing a part of this. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 loops, yarn over, pull through all, chain one. I made 4 alpine stitch scarves last Christmas. I don't know if I've done the alpine stitch. Have I done the alpine stitch, guys? Seems like maybe I did an alpine stitch. I'm trying to think. Maybe I just did something the other day that was an alpine stitch. I don't know. I've got so many projects going all the time. I can't remember. They all run together sometimes. Um, so anyhow, we're going to chain here and lock it in. Guys, I'm going to do the side panels of this so we can kind of see how it works together. And then we can kind of go from there. So when you get I'm going to essentially build this up tall as for like the length of a scarf. I'm not going to invest a lot of time because if I don't like it, it'll be more to frog out. So once you have a good little section here, what you can do is kind of work more on the project and then just see how it goes. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I can tell you already this is going to be too much. 5, 6. She said to chain 7 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then what you do is you bring it down here and you do a slip stitch and it puts these little side pieces on, but that's too big. I can tell you right now, it needs to be like 5. Pulling 2 out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That might be even too big yet still, but let's try. And then we're going to do a slip stitch. That's better. 5 is better, I think. Okay, now let's do 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, right in here, we're going to slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, right in here, slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know how this is going to work around here like this. That doesn't seem like it will, but maybe it will. I can see how these would work. Oh, I missed one right here. Shoot, I got to go back. I told you I'd be frogging again today. The day is young. Keep your frogs handy. Here we go. We need to go right in here. Slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do think it kind of looks better once you get the little loopies on it. 2, 3, 4, 5. And slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll tell you, I'm cracking myself up today. Hey, dolphin lover. Good morning. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will have to pull these back out if we do like this. So there is our sides now. Okay, so pull those out. I can see the little loops now. I'm digging the little loops. I kind of like that. Okay, let's do another 5 here. Now I'm going to go up this side with the 5. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And up here. And I'm just joining these with a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So guys, right now I'm just kind of testing this, testing the waters to see if this is something that I like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to join right here. Okay, so let me just put a stitch marker in this and hold this now. User 3, I am making potentially a valentine scarf. We're kind of testing the waters here. This is a pattern by Hooked by Robin over on YouTube. I think it looks more like little hearts now. What do you guys think? It kind of does, right? This side looks even better, probably. I think it looks kind of cute. So here's the thing. I'm going to leave this attached to this skein of yarn. I have more yarn here. So let's grab now another skein of yarn, and we're going to do as if it was row 2 where we attach it. And let's just test that and see how it all comes together. And then if it works, I'll crochet more. I'll pull that out and we can crochet taller. The hardest part of yarn here is finding the center. Goodness gracious. I hope I have good luck today. Wish me good luck as I do my center pull. Oh, it wasn't bad. It wasn't horrible. Okay, so let's move this to the side. So now I'm going to start another one of these, okay? And basically what we're doing is we're going to make a lot of strips of these and then sew them all together till we get to about 7 inches wide, and that'll be like the width of our scarf. So right here, let's start another one, and we're just kind of experimenting to see if we like how this comes together. So I start with a slip stitch on my hook, and then I'm going to do a chain of 5, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3. That's only 4. I can't count. Is it Friday yet? Okay, then I'm going to come down here into the back bump, and I'm going to join with a slip stitch. And that makes our little center ring here that I'm going to work in now. Into this, I'm going to do a slip stitch and kind of get myself set up. And then I'm going to chain 1. And now I'm going to make a puff stitch, and I'm going to do 4 yarn overs. So, um, sorry, let me get this untangled so I can flow. Got to be able to flow. So there's our first yarn over. Here is number 2. String is in my way. And here is number 4. Now I'm going to talk about these stitches, guys, so don't worry. Just hang with me here. Yarn over, pull through all, chain 1 to lock it in, chain 1. Now right into this same space again, I'm going to do another puff stitch. And again, I'm doing 4 yarn overs. You can experiment with this. Every yarn kind of works up different. Sometimes you only do 3 yarn overs with a puff stitch. Again, there's not really any rules, but I'm trying to get these to kind of look like little hearts, okay? I'm going to turn my work right into this space. I'm going to do a slip stitch, then a chain 1, and now I'm ready to do our next set of puff stitches. 3 or 2, that's 3. Here's number 4. And again, pull through all, chain 1 to lock it in, chain 1 to move to the next. Okay, let's move this over a little bit. Again, yarn over right down into that space, draw up your loop. You want this to be kind of tall. We're not going to finish anything here. You're just going to gather these loops up. So we're going to do this a total of 4 times. So again, hold that, yarn over right back down in the space. Again, grab up your loop. Here's number 2. Yarn over. Here's number 3. Every time you do this, they kind of get a little tighter on you. And here is number 4. So now we have our starting loop, 2, 4, 6, 8, total of 9 loops on our hook. Again, yarn over, pull through all the loops, chain 1 to lock it in. There is our little puff stitch. Again, turn our work. Now we're going to make one back into this space. So again, go under, slip stitch, chain 1, and again into the center with a puff stitch. Here's number 2, yarn over number 3, and here's number 4. Pull that up tall. 9 loops up here on top, yarn over, pull through all 9, and then chain 1 to lock it in, chain 1 to move to the second puff stitch, and we're going to put that right here into this space next to this guy. So again, we're going to yarn over a total of 4 times. So a lot of repetition in this. How many did I do on that last one? Let's see, I have 3 now. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need 2 more here. And then we can try to join these together and see how the effect will look. Chain 1, again, another puff stitch. Cindy, what does frog mean? So when you are doing crochet and you have to rip out what you were doing, 2, 4, 6, 8. I have one too many here. Let me pull this back. I get to talking and then I lose my track. You have to pull out your stitches, and so when you do that, you rip it out basically. RIP, rip it. And you know how a frog says ribbit, ribbit. It's kind of like rip it, rip it, and so it's kind of a little nickname that crocheters have called it. And so I tell people to get their frogs ready because basically when I screw up, We need the frog. We're going to rip it right back out. uh, but that happens to all of us as crocheters. Nothing comes off the hook perfect the first time, usually. So, you're in good company. If you can crochet something and it comes out perfect the first time, kudos to you, because for the rest of us, it's a challenge. It doesn't always come out perfect. So into this space, again, I'm going to do a slip stitch, and then I'm going to chain one. Usually with my stuff, I have a lot of what is that? Improvisation? I can't even say that word. I kind of figure it out as I go. I don't read patterns. And so I kind of am a rule breaker. I'm a bit of a crochet rebel. And I just kind of do what feels good and feels right with my crochet. So if it doesn't like call to me, or if I don't like how it's feeling, that project is not going to get finished. So I have to be really invested in it. And for me, it's the best way I could describe it is I have to feel it. I have to kind of feel it in my soul, I guess. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now what we have to do is we're going to group this little heart section here to this one that we made. Again, this is just a little test swatch, okay? One thing Robin did say is don't be alarmed as you do your second pieces. See how this one is shorter, the one that I just made? She said that is very, very common. And she said, once you add these chain groupings here, that is what helps to kind of spread these out. So she said, eventually, once you get those, it's going to, spread and be the same size. So the way she said to do this is chain. She worked with 7 stitches. We're working with 5. I'm going to chain 2. Then I'm going to bring my second piece here, or my first piece, and I'm going to join with a slip stitch to this other chain we have here. So I'm going to get my yarn looped around there, pull it through for a slip stitch. Now I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to attach it here in between these little puffs with a slip stitch. Okay, so can you see how these are linking up now? So again, I'm going to chain 2. Then I'm going to get this other piece that we have here. Going to go into the space, draw up a loop, and then pull it straight through and secure that. Then I'm going to chain 2, and then I'm going to connect it right back here with a slip stitch. Again, chain 2, look for my next little ruffle here, through the space, grab up a loop, and then pull through, slip stitch. Chain 2, and again, right here under the little heart, we're going to attach with a slip stitch. Chain 2, look for our next loop, into the space here, again, pull up a loop, join with a slip stitch, 1 and 2, and right here in between, join with a slip stitch. Oh, get out of there, little tail. Slip stitch, chain 2, and again, join with a slip stitch, chain 2, right back down into our space here. And now let's see how this looks now that they're connected. So this would essentially be how our whole scarf looks. We're going to join with these zigzags. Let's see. Brittany says, ugh, I wish there was a video on this. I'm driving. I can't join. Brittany, everything I do, I put on my link tree. So if you want to click on the follow button up here, you can come back and access it later. The video that I'm doing today, or the pattern I'm doing today, is a pattern hooked by Robin. And this is her little, she made a scarf with it, and that's what I'm attempting to make here this morning. But you can come back and access that at any time. Also, for those that do not know, I've seen a lot of new followers pop up this morning. Sorry, I've been doing a lot of talking. My name is April, and I am just a hobby crocheter. I come on live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday mornings. I am live this morning both on TikTok and over on YouTube. So welcome, welcome, friends. We've got 20 people over on YouTube and 150 or so here on TikTok watching. And anyhow, we're just kind of experimenting, and I'm using this yarn to possibly make like a cute little valentine scarf. So we've had to kind of make some adjustments for the yarn that I'm using, but I don't know. I am kind of liking it now. What do you guys think? Should we need to do a poll. Mods, Anvil, or Gen X, could you make a poll for us? We need to vote. Do we like how this is coming together? Or should we scrap this project? Keep or scrap? I need you guys' opinions on this. In the meantime, I'm going to come along here as you guys are doing the vote in the poll, and I'm going to finish this other side so we can see the full effect. Okay. So I don't know how she finished here. I'm just going to do some slip stitches, and then I'm going to do my chain of, now we're doing 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, here's 5. Now I need to join with a slip stitch here. And then I'm going to do another 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And join with a slip stitch here, making these little loops, loop-de-loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, join with a little slip stitch here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Join with a slip stitch here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, I'm going to join right to the top here with a slip stitch. Let me put a stitch marker in here so I can hold this up. Okay, time to vote, guys. Here's the vote right up here in the corner on TikTok. I'm sorry, over on YouTube, I do not have a way to do a little poll over there. But you guys can certainly chime in the chat if you like this. But basically, I would essentially crochet these up to long strips, right? The whole length of a scarf. And they would be joined like this with this little zigzag. And so we're trying to decide, we're experimenting with this pattern. Are we keeping this or are we scrapping it? You guys decide. Keep or scrap. Do we want to continue on, or do we want to change it up and do something else? Or does this look like little hearts? Can you envision it now that we've kind of made some modifications? So right up here for the vote, 50 seconds left. Can you show it in front of a darker background? It blends with the, is that any better? Here, let me pull it up closer. Can you guys see it better now? Sometimes it focuses weird. So anyhow, if you want to take the time to vote, but this is what's looking, obviously this is variegated yarn, right? So eventually we're going to get into these really deep reds right here. And I'm going to work on this pattern again tomorrow if we choose to keep this, okay? Because this is not something that I'm going to be able to finish on today's live. But if there's enough interest, we will definitely, I'll come back on. I don't normally come back on Fridays, but I definitely will. So let me know if you guys want to vote. And looks like the vote is almost done here. Where's my results? Here's my vote. Okay, so 87% said we keep it. 12% said scrap it. So I guess we're going to keep this. Okay, guys? So I think I like the look of it. I'm with you all. So let's keep it. So let me, I'm going to have to frog again now because I don't want to waste this yarn. This is pretty expensive yarn. Okay. So keep this in mind, what we're doing here. I need to frog this out. Gemini says it almost looks like X's and O's in the middle, right? Like this. I can visualize it now. I think it's going to be pretty when we get it all done. So this yarn is kind of furry, so hopefully I don't have any issues frogging this all out. Okay, that piece is off. We don't need that piece anymore. I can frog out a bit of this and then we can continue on. I just had to get these two pieces detached from each other. This piece is still pretty good. We're just going to scrap back to where we can pick up where we left off, and I'm going to continue on. So again, guys, if you are just joining, this pattern that I'm doing today is a free pattern over on YouTube by Hooked by Robin. I really enjoy Robin's content. She's one of the creators that I follow. I really like her stuff and how it turns out. So there are links on the link tree if you want to find the video that Robin did where she walks you through this step by step. Now, we're a little early on. I don't have to, I can crochet here for a little bit. I don't know where we're at on time, but anyhow, we'll be able to keep working on this. So after you finish your last puff stitch here, you turn your work and I'm going to go right into this space and I'm going to draw up a loop and then I'm going to slide this loop under this one. This is a slip stitch. Okay. Then I'm going to chain one and now I'm ready to start these little puff stitches. Okay. So the way you do a puff stitch, if this is a new stitch for you, um, let me try to move this YouTube camera down a little bit, guys. It just feels like you guys can't see it as well. I want to try to get this a little better. This way we can see it a little better. Is that better? Hopefully that's better. Okay, so right into this space here, this opening, what we're going to do is a puff stitch. The way I do this is I yarn over, I put my hook through the hole, and I grab up a loop and I pull this up nice and tall. So now we have 3 loops here. This is our starting loop. And I just hold this. Then we're going to do this a total of 4 times. So this is number 1, yarn over, right back down into that space. Again, grab up a loop. There's number 2. Yarn over into this space, grab up a loop. There's number 3. One more into the space, grab that up nice and tall. Here we have our starting loop. 2, 4, 6, 8, total of 9 loops on our hook. Yarn over and pull through all of those. And then chain 1 to lock it in. Move that to the side a little bit. I'm going to chain 1. And now right into this space here, I'm going to do the exact same thing, another puff stitch. So again, yarn over, right down into that space, grab up a loop. Again, yarn over, here's number 2, pull up a loop. Number 3, pull it up nice and tall. And number 4. So again, here's our starting loop. You can count these out, 2, 4, 6, 8, total of 9. Yarn over, pull through all of these, and then chain 1 to lock it in. Now I'm ready to turn my work right into this space here. Again, I'm going to draw up a loop and I'm going to do a slip stitch. We're going to slip this under this. All we're doing is setting ourselves up for the next little group here. Okay. Chain 1. This gets a little height on our stitch and now puff stitch right into this space again. So yarn over, go down in, pull up a loop. Again, pull this up nice and tall. Yarn over, here's number 2, number 3, and number 4. 9 loops up on top, yarn over, pull through all 9, chain 1 to lock it in, chain 1 to move to the next puff stitch, and again, right down in this space. Again, we need 4 yarn overs for our puff stitch. Sheila says, do we need a specific yarn type for this pattern? I would say no. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8. Hooked by Robin's pattern. There's a link on the link tree. She, I think, was using a 3 or a 4 weight yarn. This morning, I am using Scarfie yarn by Lion Brand. So this is what it looks like, Lion Brand, Scarfie. And this is a bulky 5 weight. And I'm using a size K 6.5 millimeter hook this morning. And so mine's a little bulkier. I thought it would work up a little quicker. The yarn that Robin did was much thinner. And so she ended up doing 106 of these little puffs. You can see it's going to take a lot of these, right? What do they say is the calculation for how long to make your scarf? For example, I'm 5'8". Does anybody know the math of how long to make a scarf? Or do I just make it 60 inches and call it good? Who knows? Because I don't. I have never made a scarf before in my life, guys. Chain 1. While you guys are giving me 69-inch. Maggie knows. Hey guys, see Maggie Unicorn there? Maggie goes live all the time. She's one of my friends here on TikTok, and a lot of us follow her. But give Maggie a follow if you want another great creator to follow. She's your gal right there. So 69 inches for the scarf. Uh, this is going to take me eons to do this with all these puff stitches, right? I might have to work on this after work. Y'all are going to give me some homework. We have to be farther along than this tomorrow if we're going to keep working on this. So hopefully I'll have something more to show you guys tomorrow. I think that was only 3. I got to pull that out. I didn't count that very good. Uh, Following Maggie now to universe knew I needed inspiration. There you go, Brittany. There you go. That's the only reason why I come on, guys, to do the lives. For those that don't know, or if you're new to my channel, my name is April, and I'm a hobby crocheter. Now I've been crocheting for about 40 years. I'm going to work on these puff stitches. We can talk some more, but I'll kind of tell you a little bit about my background. So I started coming live in July, and like I said, I've been crocheting for a long time. One of my friends, she was hounding me, literally hounding me. And she kept saying, "You need to get on TikTok. You need to go live on TikTok." She would say crazy things like, "The world needs to see what you're doing." And I would tell her, "Stop being dramatic. Nobody gives a rat's you know what April in Alabama is doing." But we had the day off on July 5th this past year. And so I was so incredibly scared. I hemmed and hawed. I really was like so nervous. And I went ahead and I came live on TikTok. And I met so many of you that day, on my day off of work. And we had a lot of fun. It was so uncomfortable. If you've never gone live before, the first time you do it, nobody knows you. And you just get on here and you start talking. And I talked and y'all listened. And then you started asking questions and chiming in. And so here we are, I don't know how many months later. And I come on live 3 days a week. Now I do work full time. This is my hobby. I have learned so much over the years, these last probably 5 years, from people that I follow on YouTube. Their list is long, but my biggest inspiration, personally, who changed my crochet life, is Mikey at the Crochet Crowd. And he is so giving with his knowledge. And for probably 35 plus years, I somebody's asking, Sarah is asking if Maggie Unicorn has a YouTube. She does have a YouTube. Can somebody tell me what Maggie's handle is on YouTube so I can share it with our YouTube friends? Um, Anyhow, for years and years, I made granny squares, and that was it. I didn't know how to read a pattern. To this day, I still cannot read a pattern. Watching Mikey gave me the confidence to be able to branch out and learn some of these other stitches and give me the confidence. And so I come on these lives, not for the fame, not for the fortune. Lord knows that's not what this is about for me. For me, if I can come on here and maybe you see the yarn that I'm using, and you get inspired to make a project. Maybe you come on here and you meet some crochet friends with me, and that helps fill your cup, right? Maybe you learn a new stitch. I explain a new stitch, and I inspire you to, maybe branch out in your crocheting, and not limit yourself. I limited myself for a lot of years, and this is my way to give back. 2, 4, 6, 8 to the crochet community. I come on here in the mornings before work. I do work remote. I live in Alabama and I work in Arizona. And I make a variety of projects. I'm no expert. You'll see me frog. You will see me totally screw up everything. I make no apologies for it. I am a very real person, very real crocheter. I'm not perfect. And so that's why I come on here and do this, is to maybe just inspire somebody. Maybe you haven't crocheted in a long time and you see something I'm making and you're inspired to pick back up your hook. Or maybe you have been interested in maybe getting into crochet, and you just haven't found the means to do it or the avenue to do it. You can do it. It takes time, it takes practice, and I'm here to encourage you, and all of our friends here are to encourage you as well. We have a fabulous little group here. As I mentioned before, I would be nothing here without each and every one of you that comes every day and watches me and chimes in and puts in your 2 cents and helps to answer questions. This is not just about April crocheting here in her couch. If I wanted to do that, guys, I wouldn't be on TikTok, right? I wouldn't be on YouTube. Um, it's each and every one of you that helps make this special as well. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart. If you are a new follower, my name is April. So, anyhow, Wheeler 8 Acres is what we call our place here in Alabama. And my husband really likes four wheelers and off roading and all that stuff. And we have 8 acres. So, hence, there's our little name. But that's a little bit about me. So the pattern that I'm working on today, I'm attempting to make a little Valentine scarf, okay? I've never made a scarf before in my life. Typically, my little wheelhouse, I like baby blankets. I like, full size lap blankets, that kind of thing is kind of my little niche. With that being said, I make market bags and I do some amigurumis and that kind of stuff. So I kind of do a variety of things, dish scrubbies, I do a lot of different type of stuff. But today is the first day ever I'm making a scarf. And this pattern that I'm doing, we've modified it a little bit today, but I am doing puff stitches. This is a pattern by Hooked by Robin over on YouTube, and you can find a link to that on my link tree. So whenever I come live, I update that. You can click up here on TikTok on the little dog. A dog will fly up the bottom, and you can click on that again. That will take you to my bio on TikTok. You'll see a little blurb about me being from Alabama. And below that, you look for HTTPS, and then it says Linktree, LINK. When you do that, everything that I'm doing today is linked right in that link tree. So there is a link to the YouTube where I learned to make this from Robin. You could go over there and give her a follow and find this pattern. Also, you can find a link to the yarn that I'm using today if you're interested in this yarn. And you can also find links to all of the previous stuff that I've done. So if you're on your way to work or on your way to school or laying in bed and you don't feel like taking notes, you don't have to. I put it all right there. You can come back on your own time when you're ready, and everything is right there. If you are just watching on the feed, I would love it if you could give me a follow. It'll make me easier to find down the road. 2468 when I go live. And be sure and hit that little notification bell. I do make a live schedule whenever I go on, so you'll be able to see that in advance. But thank you guys so much. Thank you for the heart me, Pam. Thank you. Thank you. Um, Sheila says, thank you. I don't even know what Linktree was even. So a lot of creators like me, they have a way to share the information. And it's not just me that uses the Linktree. I don't think that was enough stitches. I think a lot of creators have some form of a link tree when they do things like this. So it's a good way that you can kind of find out more information about folks. There's links there also for the Discord. I don't know if the Discord link is working. I might need to update it, but we do have a crochet chat server, so feel free to come back. I don't is the link for the Discord working? Taylor says, new crocheter here and just followed you. Welcome, welcome, Taylor. Thank you so much for the follow. 2468. So, guys, I am going to talk about these stitches now that we've kind of done some introductions. I'm just kind of cruising along. Maggie says, I've got to do 69 inches of these little puffs for my heart scarf, and Maggie knows. So I got to keep going with this, but I am going to talk about these stitches. So these little stitches that I'm doing right now are called puff stitches. And they look kind of complicated, but they're really, really not that hard. So the way that I'm doing this is I'm going into this space here and I'm making these. They have lots of different yarn overs. That's what this is called. So I yarn over once, I put the yarn on top of my hook, I go down into the space, draw up a loop, and I pull it up nice and tall. Now here's the thing, I do not finish this stitch. Okay, we're going to do this a total of 4 times. Here's number 2, yarn over, right back down into that space. Again, grab up that loop. Now that's number 2. Here's number 3, yarn over, right back down in, pull it up, and number 4. Now we have all of it done. So here we have our starting loop, 2, 4, 6, 8 stitches on our hook, total of 9. We're going to yarn over and pull through all of those. Now, if you don't do a chain, see how these are kind of puffing out? What you have to do is you have to kind of keep this cinched up tight, and then you do a chain of 1. That is how you lock it in. So you keep those from getting all spread out. I kind of move this over to the side. I'm going to chain 1 now, and I'm going to place a second puff stitch again right into this space. So again, we need 4 yarn overs for this. 1, here's number 2, and 3, and number 4, and number 4. So again, here's our starting loop. You can count these 2, 4, 6, 8. Total of 9 loops on our hook. And then we're going to yarn over and pull through all of these stitches. Chain 1 to lock it in. Now I'm going to turn and I'm going to work back the other direction. So again, right into this stitch here, I'm going to do a slip stitch. I draw up a loop, pull through. All we're doing is getting ourselves set up to do our next puff stitch. Chain 1, this puts us a little bit taller. Now into this space here, we need our puff stitch. So again, yarn over, pull up a loop, nice and tall, do not finish. Here's number 2, right back down in, pull up that loop. Here's number 3, and we need 4. Here's number 4. Now again, here's our starting loop, 8 loops here, total of 9. Yarn over, pull through all of those, and then again, chain 1 to lock it in, chain 1 to move to the next puff stitch, and again, right back down here into the space with our next puff stitch. And I'm just going to keep repeating this. Now, Robin called this a mile a minute puff stitch. 2, 4, 6, 8. And then when you get to the very end of her video, in Robin's little humor that she has, she says, it took a lot longer than a mile a minute. I'll tell you what, these puff stitches don't plan on a minute, plan on more time. So, I'm trying to cruise along here and kind of keep this interesting, but we're basically repeating these puff stitches over and over and over again. And I'm not going to have time on the live today to finish this project. Obviously, these puff stitches are rather time consuming. But I do like the effect that it's giving. And so I will have some homework today on my lunch break. I will work on our little heart puffs, and I will have some after work homework as well. Excuse me. And I will have to come back tomorrow on the live and we can work on this again. And it'll be Valentine's Day. So the way that I started out, Lisa, good morning, good morning. User 2, the way that I started out is I did a chain of 5 down here. And then I worked into that chain with our first puff stitch. There is a link on the link tree to the Hooked by Robin pattern that I'm following today, and that you could find that and find it from the very start. Now, after I'm done with the live, of course, I will publish this video out over on YouTube. So it takes 24 hours to process, and then after that, I do a couple small edits on it, and then I will publish it back out. So if you're not following me over on YouTube, my handle is Wheeler8Acres. And every live that we do ends up published over there. So you can go back and reference them later if you wish. But it's been kind of a fun morning so far. We've done a lot of improvising on this pattern and kind of some modifications. So the way that Hooked by Robin did her, she was using a thinner weight yarn. When she got to this point right here, instead of doing, I'm only doing a chain of 1, she did a chain of 3, and we kind of experimented. In a chain of 3 made it too loose. It wasn't looking aesthetically the way that we really liked it. So we voted and I pulled it out and we started fresh. And so anyhow, a chain of 1 in between my puff stitches, and 2, 4, 6, 8, and chain 1 to lock it in. again, turn my work. And then she started down here with 7. So depending on how your yarn is that you're using when you start, you may need to chain 7 here. I did a chain of 5. And then on the side loops, I don't know, I pulled out the side loops, but you'll be able to see the side loops tomorrow. I did 5 instead of um, the pattern calls for 7, and that again was too many for this yarn that I'm doing. But the yarn that I'm using today is Lion Brand Scarfie yarn. It's a real kind of fluffy yarn. It's a 5 bulky weight yarn. Oh, thank you so much for the heart me. Welcome to the team. Thank you for supporting the team. Appreciate that. And let's see if we can change something else up here. How about some finger hearts? All right. Thank you guys so much for all of the heart me's this morning. Pause for a puzzle. Man, time is flying this morning. Unable to verify. Please try again. Okay, trying again. There we go. We got it this time. Anyhow, thank you all so much for the heart me's and being a part of the team. I hope everybody is having a fabulous day. I can't believe it's today Thursday. I keep thinking it's Wednesday. I feel like somehow I've lost a day this week. Oh my goodness, 26 new messages. Hang on, let me catch up on my messages here. Hey Victoria, good morning. LB said thanks for sharing this. My pleasure, LB. I love Hooked by Robin also. Carolyn says beautiful. Thank you, thank you. LB says, I'm glad I'm not the only one who gets distracted during puff stitches and has to pause to count. Hey, girl, I'm glad I'm not the only one. For those that don't know, I'm live on YouTube this morning. I'm also live on TikTok. And so between crocheting and trying to count and keep up with all the comments on both feeds, it's a challenge. But we do have great moderators here. If you are new to my channel, um, if I miss your comment, I get to talking about these stitches, guys, and sometimes I will miss your comments. Please, please do not take it personal. I do my very best to answer all of the questions. I do go back after the live and I read through every single comment. If I miss something, I will try to DM you and let you know if I missed answering your question. But the mods here try to answer as well, along with our just fabulous community. There's a lot of people that watch me every day, so they help to answer the questions as well. Hey, Sparky, have a great day. Thank you for being here. Denise, good morning. Lisa said, just subscribed on YT. Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Lisa. I'm still not to 1,000 over there on YouTube, but I sure am trying. So, Gen X girl, wow, thank you, thank you. Hooked by Rosie says you got this. Yeah, we have. Oh, is Tanya's creative here? Tanya is another great person to follow. You guys, there's so many, but Tanya makes these little stitch markers. She didn't make this one, but the stitch pickers. If you guys need a source for these are very popular right now. Follow Tanya, one of my friends here. She makes those and sells them over on Etsy. Allie asked you post any tutorials. So basically, the live replay is posted over on YouTube within 48 hours of me going live here. And I also put a link on the link tree 2468. This pattern is Hooked by Robin. So you could go over on the link tree and you can find the link to this specific pattern. And you can see Robin does the full tutorial of how to do this pattern that I'm working on today. So I would definitely encourage you to do that. She's one of my favorite creators, and I know other people really like her as well. So again, her name is Hooked by Robin. Maggie says, today is my Friday. I took off tomorrow and have Monday off for holiday. Nice, nice. Dale says, I have learned so much. Very, very cool. Let's see. Oh, Tanya said, that's not this Tanya. Oh, I'm sorry, Tanya. Uh, I get my Tanyas mixed up. I swear her name is Tanya. And let's see. Oh my God, I read this. It's Friday and thought you lived here. uh, let's see. Allie says, I'll definitely make sure to check out that once I'm done with these flowers. Yeah, it's kind of kind of fun. I'm enjoying this. Like I said, I kind of had to modify it to make it work for me, but I'll be back working on this again live tomorrow, guys. So if you want to, there is a calendar event on TikTok. YouTube friends, do you want to watch this tomorrow? I don't normally go live on YouTube on Friday, but I know a number of you are watching over there this morning on YouTube. Are you interested in doing live tomorrow with me for this pattern? Again, let me know in the comments. If so, I can make a YouTube event for tomorrow. I don't normally come on live on Fridays, but with it being Valentine's Day, why not, spread a little love and cheer on Valentine's? Sometimes it's a lonely day for some of us. It is kind of a commercial holiday, but a lot of people, it kind of hits a nerve sometimes, right? 2468, and sometimes love with friends is good too. So I'm totally happy to do it. Sarah said, yeah, she would like to see tomorrow over on YouTube. Okay, so I will make one vote is good enough for me, Sarah. I will make a YouTube event for tomorrow as well. Let's see, 2468. The stitch that I'm working on today, if you are just hopping on, 813. Oh, goodness. I'm running out of time here. Look how this yarn is changing, guys. Can you see it changing color finally? I wanted to get to the solid red, but I don't know if I can crochet fast enough. 2468. Um, the stitch that I'm doing today is a puff stitch. So you can see we started out here with our lighter pink, and this yarn is just changing on its own. And you can see I'm getting to the darker red here. Eventually, I'm going to get to this solid red color you can see here. This yarn that I'm using today, if you're curious, is Lion Brand Scarfie yarn. I'm not affiliated with Lion Brand, but the backstory of this yarn, I saw this yarn on Creative Grandma's YouTube. She always has that like backdrop when she does a lot of her videos, and I saw this yarn on her shelf, and I just knew instantly like I had to have it. Do you guys ever have that? Kim says I would like to see tomorrow too. Okay, no problem, Kim. I'll plan on it. So anyhow, I emailed Creative Grandma, Glenda. You guys know Glenda. And I said, Glenda, I did a screenshot. I circled this yarn. I said, please tell me what this yarn is. And she emailed me back right away. It was so cool. I was like, wow, here she is with all these millions of followers practically. But this is a 5 bulky weight yarn. And I'm using a size K 6.5 millimeter hook this morning. It is 78% acrylic and 22% wool, and the colorway is red/cream. So anyhow, I've had this in my stash for a number of, honestly, a few months. I've had this yarn, and I thought maybe I would do something around Christmas with it. But then I was thinking the other day, I'm like, oh, I should do like a Valentine something with that red yarn. That might look kind of cool. So hence I started looking for patterns, and 468. I only have 3 skeins of it, and it's kind of a pricier yarn. Normally I'm too cheap. I'm pretty frugal with yarns, but sometimes I'll splurge. So I definitely consider this to be a splurge. I think for the 3 skeins, it was like $30. So they're like $10 a skein. I don't know. Maybe that's not expensive to you guys. 2468. To me, that's kind of pricey. I tend to stick to some of the more economical acrylic type yarns, just because I do so many projects and stuff. And so, anyhow, I started looking for a pattern. And then in my feed, all of a sudden one day, this little pattern popped up, and it was recommended on my YouTube by Hooked by Robin, who I follow. And so I watched it and I thought, oh, that might be kind of perfect. It does kind of look like little hearts when you get them kind of all stacked up here. So, anyhow, that's kind of how this project came to fruition today. So, anyhow, I will, of course, work on this tonight and maybe have us a little further along so we have more of a visual tomorrow. Let me count these 2468. But basically, all I'm doing are these little puff stitches. So, if you are just coming on, let me show you. Once you get these done, you turn your work, then right into this space, I'm doing a slip stitch. So I grab a loop up, and the way you do a slip stitch is I'm going to take this front loop here closest to my hook, and I'm going to pull it under this back one here. So I just pull it straight through. That is called a slip stitch. Then I chain one. This chain one gets us just a little bit taller. Now right into this space, I'm going to make a puff stitch. And so the way I do that is I yarn over, I go down into this space, and I grab up a loop, and I pull this up nice and tall. And I do not finish. I just hold that. We're going to gather a bunch of these up on our hook. That's number one. I need a total of 4. Here's number 2. Again, yarn over, right back down in that space, and grab up a loop. Got a little knot here. Let me get that out. Okay, so that was number 2. Yarn over. Here's number 3. Right back down in that space. Pull up tall. And number 4. So now we have our starting loop here. You can count these 2, 4, 6, 8. So we end up with a total of 9 loops on our hook. Then I'm going to yarn over and pull through all of those stitches. And then I chain one to lock it in. And when you do this chain one, if you don't do this, see how these kind of spread out on you? So that's why doing this chain of one is super, super important. And I try to keep my yarn kind of tight as I'm doing this. So you don't want this loop here too big. Otherwise, this will get kind of out of shape. And then I chain one, and now I'm ready to put my second puff stitch right into this space. So again, yarn over, right down into that space, grab up your loop, pull it up nice and tall. Again, do not finish anything here. Yarn over, here's number 2, grab up a loop. Here's number 3, right back down in. And you guys will see when you go down and see how these kind of loop out. Don't be worried, that's very normal. And then number 4, grab up that loop again, nice and tall. So here's our starting loop. 2, 4, 6, 8, total of 9 loops. Yarn over and pull through all of those loops. Chain one to lock it in. So there's 1 and 2. Now we're going to turn our work. Now again, I'm going to go into this space, draw up a loop, and I'm going to do a slip stitch. This gets us in position to start our next group of puff stitches. Now again, I'm going to chain one. We've got to get this just a smidge taller. And now into this space again, we're going to do our puff stitch. So yarn over, go down into this space, grab up a loop, pull that up nice and tall. Again, don't finish, just hold. We're going to gather these up on our hook. Yarn over, pull up. Here's number 2. Here's number 3. Yarn over, right down in, pull up that loop, and number 4. Once you have all 4, you'll have your starting loop here. 2, 4, 6, 8. Total of 9 loops on our hook. Yarn over and pull through all, and then immediately chain one to lock it in. Chain one to move to the next puff stitch. And again, right here in this space, we're going to do our second puff stitch. So here's our first, holding, yarn over, right back down in. Here's number 2, number 3, and number 4. So again, 9 loops here on top, yarn over, pull through all 9, chain one to lock it in. Again, turn your work. Right into the space, draw up a loop, and then do a slip stitch. You're going to bring this one right under this one, set ourselves up for the next stitch, chain one, that gets us just a smidge taller, and now we're ready for our first puff stitch. So again, yarn over, go right down into that space, grab up a loop, and hold. Do not finish. You're just going to hold that. Here's number 2, right back down in. Again, grab up a loop. Number 3, pull that up nice and tall. And number 4. Now we have a total of 9 loops on our hook. You have 8 from those stitches, the yarn overs that you did, and you have your starting loop. Yarn over and pull through all of those, and then chain one to lock it in. Chain one to move to the next little puff stitch, and again right into this space, again with our 4 yarn over. So yarn over, right down in, pull up that loop nice and tall, holding. Here's number 2, number 3, and number 4. Now we have a total of 9 loops on our hook. Yarn over and pull through all 9. Hey Deborah, have a good day. Thanks for being here this morning. Chain one to lock it in. Again, turn our work, Now we're going to head back the other direction, right down into this space, drop a loop. You want to do a slip stitch, bring this one directly under. That gets us set up for our next stitch. Chain one, get a little height here, and now we're ready for our puff stitch. Yarn over, right down in that space, grab up a loop, pull them up nice and tall, yarn over, grab up another loop, holding. Here's number three and number four, again holding. So we have our starting loop, 8 loops from our yarn overs, total of 9. Yarn over, pull through all, chain one to lock it in, chain one to move to the next puff stitch, and we're going to be ready to start that right here. Got a little knot in my yarn here. Let me pull this out. So tomorrow I will be live doing this a scarf tomorrow as well on Valentine's Day, a special episode with April. I just wanted to say thank you to all the new followers. I've seen you popping up here this morning as I've been crocheting along. This is a fabulous little community we have, and I am so glad that you found us. I hope you are excited about crochet. Maybe you are here to get inspired about a new yarn or a pattern, but we are very glad to have you all. We do have a Discord channel. If you are interested in getting on the Discord chat, you can find the link on the link tree. If you don't know what a Discord is, it's basically an online chat server. So we can share pictures and videos and, special yarn deals. You can share a picture of your dog or cat or your crochet companion. I put books that I'm listening to over there. Gosh, you guys, I was listening again this morning to the Night Road book by Kristen Hanna. More tears. I was crying again this morning. Boy, she is just a phenomenal author, and I'm just loving this book. It's called Night Road. I just started it over the weekend, and I only have like, I don't know, 2 or 3 more hours until it's finished. But so many like surprises. I really recommend it. 8:23. Oh goodness. Where has the time gone this morning? It was all that improvising that we did. Do you guys like it when I come on live and experiment and you guys get to participate in that? Do you like that format? I'm just curious for those that have been here since the beginning. Or do you like it when I have more of a set pattern that I just follow? Or do you like when April gets a little experimental and modify stuff as I go along? What are your thoughts on that? 4, 6, one more here. I never know, kind of what people like. Some people are like, just give me the pattern. I don't care about your improvisations or how you're modifying stuff. I don't know. Hey, Maria, good morning. She said, I love this. Thank you so much, Maria. I'm glad you're here this morning. And I hope as we're winding down here, guys, I am a hobby crocheter, and so I do have to get ready to go to work here. So I'm getting some time checks. If you are new to my channel, my name is April. And I come on live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday mornings at 7 Central Time. However, tomorrow I'm going to have a special live for Valentine's Day. I will be on at 7 again tomorrow, and I'll be working on this scarf some more. So if you want to tune in tomorrow for another little day of this project, I would love to see you. And let's see, everybody's chiming in their thoughts about their the experimenting as I go along kind of thing. Let's see. Valblock says experiment. Lucky Mike says I love all of it. Uh, Veronica says love the improv. Lisa says new here, but you are doing awesome. Lisa, welcome. So glad you're here. Donna says love it. Brenda said, yes, it's good to see you problem solve when crocheting. I think that too, a lot of times. For me, I watch all these other creators, right? And they put out this beautiful finished tutorial, and it has all the bells and whistles, and it's got the little text on it, and they walk you through how to do it. For me, 2, 4, 6, 8, I like to see the wheels turn. You know what I mean by that? Like how the light bulb goes on, or I would love to be like a little in Mikey's brain as he's creating patterns, right? I would love to see Mikey frog something and be like, "Ooh, I don't like that, and this is the reason why." I don't know why I'm like that. I think I tend to learn that way. I learn myself by experimenting, and sometimes I just like to be in somebody else's, like, crochet brain, you know what I mean? Creative Grandma did one the other day. It was her flower pattern, that big circle that she has, and she talked a lot about her process, how she designed that pattern. It's a really good video. It's not her normal video. Creative Grandma normally does you do this step, you do this step, next you do this. It was very insightful as she walked through her creative process. I really dug that. It was very inspiring to me to see how somebody else's kind of brain works on these things, right? And so I personally really like that format. Let's see, on the fly or pre planned, 90% said on the fly. So it sounds like everybody kind of likes how we did it today, where I'm, kind of in my brain just creating as I go along. Two, four, six, eight. So I'll definitely keep that in mind. It doesn't apply every time I come on. Obviously, like this blanket, I've already got it in the works. It's not like I'm going to come and, redo the whole thing. But it is definitely insightful as you guys give me that feedback. I certainly appreciate that. Ray said, I like the experimenting. It's realistic. Brenda says, we learn that way. Um, Let's see. Sheila says, "Love it all. I'm the one who just has needs a heads up on what I need to work along with." So yeah, I make events ahead of time on TikTok, and I try to put everything ahead of time on the link tree. So you could always reference my link tree 2468. Now, not all the time do I have everything pre planned like that. Also, I make YouTube live events pre planned where I put links to the patterns that I'm using and all of the yarn as well. So you have that resource available to you as well. And then I try to talk about things kind of ahead of time on the live. Kind of some like what's coming down the road kind of thing. 246, one more here. So I do definitely try to do that as I go. But again, you can kind of see here, I am making kind of good progress here now. So I started here with the light, and you can see it change in color. It's really coming pretty. I'm to the solid red. I didn't think I would get to the solid red this morning, but look at that. We made it to the red. So I am getting a time check here. I need to think about heading off to work. So let me catch up on these comments. I have 26 more comments. And while I'm reading these comments, how about a round of applause for our moderators, Gen X and Anvil? I swear these two are the best mods on TikTok. They make my life easier. They help answer your guys' questions. I would be nothing without them here. So, how about you guys give a round of applause to our fabulous moderators? Um, let's see. Adriana says, I love experimenting. Let's see. Horse and Dog said, I would think, especially for new crocheter, just pattern, but I love the improv. Let's see. Holly says, can you post a new Discord link on your link tree? Absolutely, Holly. I will refresh it as soon as I get off the live this morning. Let's see. Sheila says, I think it shows up the learning process and confidence to experiment. Yeah, don't be afraid to experiment, guys. If you saw me change up this pattern today, to make it work with the yarn that I had and the vision in my mind, right? And I want to encourage you guys, uh, don't be afraid to kind of step out of your comfort zone with some of that. Sometimes your experiments will work, sometimes they won't. There's been times I've frogged blanket 6 times. And sometimes I've scrapped the whole project and said, this project is not for me. It just does not work. And I changed to something else. So you have to definitely do what speaks to you. And I hope I give you the confidence to kind of work on that. Um, the RJ, the brand of yarn that I'm using is Lion Brand, and it's the Scarfie yarn. Today I'm using a 5 bulky weight, and it's a K 6.5 millimeter crochet hook that I'm using. It's 78% acrylic, 22% wool. It's specifically designed for scarves. Now, I do have 3 skeins of this, so I'm hoping if I have enough, I can make a hat as well. And so that's kind of what I've been working on. But this yarn is red and cream colorway. Mr. Sorry, I'm going to totally mispronounce this name. Mysterial said, "Dang, I wish I had seen this from the beginning. It looks interesting, new here." First, let me say welcome, welcome. My name is April, and I'm glad you're here this morning. You can watch a replay of everything we did today over on YouTube. I am live on both platforms this morning. My handle over there is Wheeler 8 Acres. I will be back tomorrow at 7 working on this pattern some more. So 7 Central Time. I live in Northeast Alabama, and I crochet till 8:30. So I'm going to try to catch up on some of these comments before I go to work today. But you can kind of see here what I'm doing. This is going to be a scarf. Okay, and it'll make more sense tomorrow. Those of you that were on kind of at the beginning, you got to see kind of a little sneak peek of how it's going to kind of come together. But I will have definitely more tomorrow on the live for you to kind of see how the scarf is coming. So feel free to, give me a follow over on YouTube as well if you would like. And I am getting ready to hop off the live here in just a little bit. So if you're not following over on TikTok, I would love it if you could give me a follow. It'll make it easier to find me in the future. So feel free. Gosh, 58 new messages. I appreciate you guys so much this morning. Maha says, I appreciate you. Right back at you. I appreciate you too. I will update the Discord link, guys, as soon as I get off the live. Let's see. Yes, I will upload it to YouTube. It'll probably be, it takes 24 hours and then some. So it'll be probably like by lunchtime tomorrow. Hopefully this video will be up on YouTube. So anyhow, Gabrielle, I am making a scarf this morning. I'll be working on it again tomorrow on the live. So, um, Becky said, good morning. Hey, Becky, nice you're here. Dale says, moving fast. Yeah, the live today has had a lot of comments today, guys. I apologize if I missed your comments. Um, Hopefully you got an answer. And if not, I rest assured I do go back through all of the comments after the fact, and if I miss something, I will certainly try to reply to you. But anyhow, I hope today has been a fun day, guys. Um, so anyhow, I will see you guys tomorrow, both on YouTube and on TikTok. Dale said a hat would be cool. I know. I think a little hat to match the scarf would be kind of cute. It'll depend on if I have enough yarn. I do have 3 skeins total. So we'll see. I think I will, but these puff stitches, they're kind of they use a lot of yarn. Let's see. I shall live said I was just saying that I wonder if others frog like me, and I also enjoy it as well. Yeah, I do my own share of frogging, that's for sure. Thank you, Anvil. Has emergency phone call. No problems. Guys, I hope everybody has a fabulous day. I'm going to hop off now and go to work. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye for now.